Hey everybody, it's me, Alex Garcia, aka the COG, coming at you, as always, from comicbookclique.com to bring you, you know what it is. It's the best day of the week. Happy Wednesday, everybody. New comic book day is upon us, and we have ourselves another huge new comic book day. Marvel and DC bringing the heat, the indies are bringing the heat, and we have ourselves yet another monumental crossover issue from Marvel and DC. To follow up Batman Deadpool, Deadpool Batman, we recently had Superman Spiderman, and now we have Spiderman Superman from Marvel. Guys, they're getting better and better. These books are just awesome. This book really captures the essence of both characters. Every story hits hard, hits home, really captures the voice of Clark and Peter. We also get the entourage of characters from both worlds of Spider-Man and Superman. You know, we get some Mary Jane, we get some some Gwen Stacy, we get some Lana Lang, we get some John Henry Irons, we get Mom Pa Kent, we get Aunt May, we get everybody. And speaking of everybody, the creators on this, we got Brad Meltzer on here, we got Pepe Larraz, Dan Slott coming back, Brian Michael Bendis, Russell Dauterman, Jason Aaron, Louise Simonson, Todd Nauck. I mean, who am I forgetting here? Oh my God, Jeff Johns and Gary Frank of the Unnamed Universe coming back to tell a fantastic Superman story in the Marvel Universe. Every story here hit home or hit hard in some way. They're just getting better. They're just getting better with it. The opening story where Superman and Spider-Man are put in this unbelievable situation where they figure out how to get at it by figuring out each other's hearts, right? Superman knows how to motivate Spider-Man. Spider-Man knows how to motivate Peter. They escape from this crazy situation. They figure out the peril from their enemies. They overcome it, and then not just that, they meet as Clark and Peter and have just this great character moment in the story. Brad Meltzer really hit it out the park with that opening story. Like I said, Gary Frank and Jeff Johns tell a great story. Even the Joe Kelly and Humberto Ramos story was fantastic with the expanded characters. This issue was so good. If you're not thinking about getting it, you have to get it. This was such a great issue, such a great read, such a great thing to just add to the collection. Easily something you could pick up and even hand to someone else just to who appreciates the characters or who wants a reason to get into comics. This is a great issue for that. Do not miss this. And Marvel and DC, please make this a regular thing. Make this an annual event of Marvel, DC, DC, Marvel. I'm totally for it. The covers on this issue are so gorgeous. I'm sticking to one. I got cover A. It is beautiful by Pepe Larraz. A lot of other ones though that I'm very tempted for, especially that Mark Bagley one. Marvel and DC did a great job on this. Thank you guys. Really, really love this, and buy it. Pick it up. Let's go. And staying in Marvel, we got the last part of the Death Spiral. Amazing Spider-Man number 27. Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness, along with, I believe, Carlos Gomez on the art. Let me just make sure I got that first name. Yep, Carlos Gomez on the art with Francesco Manna. This concludes Death Spiral. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. I mostly enjoyed this. In this, we have Carnage taking over Spider-Man's body. From what I know, the first time, I remember when he took over Ben Reilly's body at one point, but I don't think he's ever taken over Spider-Man's because Spider-Man gets severely injured at the end of the last part. So in this part, he takes over his body, and he's making the convincing argument to hold on to this body. Venom, MJ, they're trying their best to withhold the situation, and in the meantime, Torment is still trying to kill Aunt May and Aunt Anna. A lot of things going on, everything's going crazy. I don't want to spoil the ending, but we do finally see the face of Torment, and we do finally see what happens to Torment. Very interesting stuff. Where it's gonna go, I don't know. Carnage defeated very Sailor Moon-esque, in my opinion, but you might like it, you might not like it. Interesting. However, we'll see where that goes with Carnage. And I'm very interested to see where we go now with the Spider-Man story. And maybe Venom. Probably not, but I'm gonna say maybe. Great stuff. mostly enjoyed this crossover, but the thing I really, really loved is still how well Joe shows that he loves and knows Peter. Good stuff all around. And if you need yet another reason to jump back into Spider-Man, the next issue is going to be a great jumping on point as we march to Amazing Spider-Man number 1000. Big numbers, guys. Jump on back to Amazing Spider-Man. Very cool stuff. Thanks, Joe and company. And staying in the Spider world, right? A book that is flying off the shelves so badly that I couldn't even get cover A. Right, we got Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Versity. One of the things that was happening in the midst of Death Spiral was that Norman Osborn, especially at the end of that whole Goblin Slayer story arc, realized that the Spider team, right, his Spider-Man's backup, so to speak, Miles Morales, Silk, Spider-Gwen and company, Spider-Boy, Spider-Girl, all these characters, they need to learn how to deal with high-intensity villains, because the Goblin Slayers kind of smacked him around, and Norman showed also that he can deal with them. They got to step up their game. So he's going to help potentially set up that game by making a Spider-Versity. Here, he gets the entire Spider clan, so to speak, together. And the game is on in the very first issue. We also have a special appearance by Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman. This was off my radar, but tinglings already were being sent out. I couldn't even get cover A. This is actually looking like it's going to be a fun book, especially for those of you who want to know more about the expanded world of Spider-Man. I'm going to keep collecting it for now, see where it goes, and see how well this ties in with Miles's new book that's going to be coming out very, very soon. Lots of good things coming in the world of Spider-Man and his adjacent characters. So cool stuff. Don't want to miss this. Oh, and it is written by Joe Kelly, who's writing, regular Amazing Spider-Man, with Joe Morris. And the art was beautiful on this issue by Perry Perez. Oh, and Jordan Morris, not Joe Morris, Jordan Morris, and Perry Perez on the art. Very, very enjoyable book. I'm looking forward to issue number 2. Check it out. Might be hard to find. And let's jump over to, like I say, probably the best book Marvel's putting out on a month-to-month basis. Marc Spector, Moon Knight, number 3, Jed MacKay and Dev Pramanik on the art. This continues the story of Moon Knight trapped in a very Truman Show-esque world where it turns out Bushman, long enemy of Moon Knight, put him there because he's trying to figure out where a friend of Moon Knight is. Why he wants this person, we don't know yet. It's part of the mystery. But Moon Knight, in wonderful fashion, the fight scene between him and Bushman is epic. They always are when he has to deal with Bushman. And Zodiac kind of lets it be known, hey, you may want to deal with me, but you got a bigger issue to deal with over here. Great issue. The art, Pramanik, just every issue just seems to just get better and better. There's one beautiful splash page. I don't want to spoil it because it's a monumental scene where it just shows how much he loves drawing this character. And Jed, the voice you perpetually give to Marc Spector on this book, and the evolution, the character development that's happening. Can't wait for issue number 4, and neither should you. Pick up Moon Knight. Keep it going. Great stuff. And another book that's just, I almost want it to be an ongoing series. Almost. We'll see. But it's very, very good. Cyclops, number 3, Alex Packendell and Rogue Antonio, I'm not sure how to pronounce the first name, on the art. I'm really, really enjoying this miniseries. We have Cyclops, if you haven't been keeping up. He is not blinded, but he doesn't have his ruby quartz visor, doesn't have any glasses, so he's blinded. He's being hunted by the Reavers because they have their own nefarious plot going on in the background where they're trying to unearth a mineral that will make them more powerful. And here we have Cyclops just trying to survive and figure out what's going on and save these mutants that they're using as slaves to unearth this material. He's teaming up with May, a young mutant. She's maybe 14 years old about, and he's trying to teach her how to use her powers and deal with the situation. All the while, he's blind. Alex Packendell, every month that this book has come out, has shown just how much of a strategist, how intelligent, and just of a soldier that Scott Summers is. In this issue, Scott just finally loses it. he's like, I'm taking the gloves off. The visor's already off, right? So I'm bringing it, and in this issue, he finally loses it, and the final page shows why Scott Summers is Scott Summers, and he's not that clawed mutant that everybody loves. Great stuff. I can't wait to see where this is going, and we only got like 2 more issues left. Fun stuff, and like I said, if it turns into even a 12-part series, I'm here for it. Check it out. And let's jump over to Captain America #9 by Chip Zdarsky and another guest artist. I believe his name is Tan Lima on the art. And honestly, this is a big step up from the previous guest artist. I really like this art on this book. This helped with the tone and seriousness of this book, because we are marching to Armageddon, and this is one of the key books, along with that Weapons of Armageddon book, also written by Chip Zdarsky. Is in this book, lots of things get moved forward, right? Salvation, the new ruler of Latveria, who's makes Dr. Doom seem like almost like a puppy with how he treats his citizens, right? It's discovered that he is slaughtering his citizens and just burying them in mass graves. Captain America says, I'm not going with the plan that originally was set. I'm gonna leave that, and I'm gonna help the freedom fighters, the locals, the Latverians, take back their land and their freedom, essentially. The team that he was sent in with, they're not really feeling that idea, and things just kick off, and Salvation finally shows just how powerful he is. The next issue is going to really push things forward. We have Red Hulk coming in. They're setting that up, and we all know that with what's going to come with Weapons of Armageddon and this whole Avengers Armageddon event, Red Hulk is going to be at the center of it. So what happens in the next issue is going to be big. If you're not already collecting Captain America, you definitely don't want to miss this series, and especially the next issue. It's going to be big. So check it out. Captain America, heating up. Great stuff. Let's check out DC, where the hottest universe in all the world right now. Absolute Wonder Woman, #19. Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman just continue to bring the heat on this book. The voice of Diana that Thompson is able to bring every month just gets deeper and better. This book is amazing. It's beautifully drawn by Sherman. In this, we see that, Zatanna and Diana are able to get her dad out of this curse, this almost self-induced purgatory, so to speak, that he's put himself in. But in the meantime, the team running the Suicide Squad is like, we got to deal with this. So they send in the Iron Maiden at the end. Things are going to kick off. Just when you think we're already at that threshold of, oh, no, it can't get any crazier than this, it's going to get crazier next issue. And like I said, the voice of the character and the progression that we have now with not just Diana, but with Zatanna in this absolute world, just great stuff, guys. If you're not already collecting Absolute Wonder Woman, don't miss this issue. Don't miss what's to come. Good stuff. And guys, an issue that just makes me smile because it has my boy Kyle Rayner. We got Green Lantern, #34, Legacy number 601, with Jeremy Adams writing, and we have a couple of artists doing the art. We have Ig Guara and Montos, because here we have a Kyle Rayner story drawn by one artist, and then that other story with what's that guy? Hal Jordan, I believe you guys call him, on the other story. Kyle is the now protector of Earth because Hal's on this mission. Kyle's trying to figure out everything that he wants to do. He's got some villains to deal with, but then he quickly realizes, hey, I also got to get a paycheck while I'm here. So he's working on that with his side characters that he has. Great fun is ensuing. I'm really enjoying the Kyle stuff because Kyle's my boy. Hal, he's on a mission. The coolest part about what Hal's going on, though, is the fact that he's dealing with one of the Wonder Twins as his accomplice. So that's fun. And he's on a mission because the Book of Oa has given him a vision that he has to go on this mission. But the protectors, what do they call? Ganthet and company, the blue aliens from Oa, they're not having it. They're like, Hal, you should not be doing this. But Hal, because he's Hal, is doing what he wants to do. Overall, a very enjoyable issue, especially if you're a big Kyle Rayner fan like me. I'll be back next month because as long as Kyle Rayner is being featured in this book, I'll be collecting Green Lantern. Check it out. And let's head on over to that other wonderfully growing world, the Energon universe. We got Void Rivals, number 29, Robert Kirkman and Andre Bresson on the art. This is part 5 of the Quintesson War. And the Quintesson War is heating up. If the Agorians and the Zertonians, they're all dealing with their individual issues because the Quintessons are bringing the heat. And the Zertonians will realize, look, if the Agorians are down or losing, then we're next. So they're realizing, hey, maybe we got to team up. But in the meantime, the Agorians get captured because they have one last-ditch effort against the Quintessons. The Quintessons are like, you don't know what you're dealing with. We warned you from the beginning. But in the background, we got some Transformer stuff heating up, and I think it's gonna pay off in the next issue. If you're a big fan like me of the Transformers, the movie from back in '86, the entire end of this issue is just like a beautiful salute to that movie. I love it. I really enjoyed this issue. If you're, like I said, if you're a Transformers fan, if you're just enjoying the Energon universe, don't miss this. Make sure you go back and read all the Quintesson stuff, because this G.I. Joe Transformers, they're on a collision course, and I think it's going to start really, really happening with how this ends and where it's going to lead. So don't miss it. Energon universe, Void Rivals, great stuff. And speaking of crossovers, it's almost like Dynamite, like, can read my mind. You know, because this is something that I guess my child brain has always been wanting. I've been talking about this for a couple weeks now, guys. We got Thundercats, Silverhawks, Thunderhawks, number 1 by Ed Brisson and, I want to get this guy's name right, Vincenzo Federici on the art. Whew. Thundercats lost. Those characters get thrown into the future because they got to save their future by saving the past. We got time travel. I don't usually like time travel, but you give me these characters, and in this world, it seems like it's going to pay off. With how it's going to tie in with the regular Thundercats book and Mumra, I think I see where it's going. We're looking forward to it. And this, you know, they've been stranded in the future now for 6 years. And they keep thinking, okay, this is going to be the time that we finally figure out how to get back. But will they? And what effect will it have? They're not totally sure. This first issue really lays us in, and lots is happening. We find out who is pulling the strings in the future world. So good. Ed Brisson and company, you guys are kicking butt. I'm really loving this crossover. Ed Brisson, Declan Shelby and company, keep it coming. And if you just love Thundercats and Silverhawks, make sure you pick up this issue. Lots of fun. And last but certainly not least, we got Barbaric, The Long Death, number 3, Michael Morisi and I want to say Nathan Gooden on the art. This is the conclusion to The Long Death, where to The Long Death, where we get lots of background, right, about the talking possessed weapons and what it is that they represent. Lots of character progression, and even the loss of a character. Barbaric continues to be a great book. If you don't know what Barbaric is, it's the story of Owen the Barbarian, kind of sounds like Conan, who now must do the beck and call of this talking axe that only, it seems like only he can hear, that must taste the blood of whoever it is he kills, as long as it's him helping someone. He must help people, which is not what he wants to be doing. If you like Dork, if that's something, you know, everybody's talking about Dork, don't be afraid to check this one out, especially if you want something that's a little bit more adult oriented, especially if you're also, speaking of Dork, a Conan fan. Barbaric, great book from beginning to end. I think it's rolling to a conclusion in probably the next few issues of whatever it is the next miniseries is. Great stuff. I'm really, really enjoying it. Owen, I enjoy reading you. Thank you, Michael and Mauricio and team. Great stuff. And guys, that's what I picked up for the week. It was a monumental week. That Spider-Man Superman book really just put me in a good mood. Moon Knight, even Green Lantern. So much fun stories going on this week. So Check them out. Let me know what I should have picked up. Let me know what you picked up. Let me know where I went totally wrong. Let's have a conversation about this. And make sure you're checking us out on our YouTube, on our X, Instagram, all over the place. Wherever you could find Comic Book Clique or Major Podcast, that's where you find us. If you want more in-depth reviews, make sure you're hitting up comicbookclique.com, where our team of writers always puts out these wonderfully detailed reviews on all these books and more, pretty much on a daily basis. It's fantastic stuff. And guys, last but not least, don't forget, in about 2 weeks now, we got free comic book day. So, it's going to be on May 2nd. Make sure you go into your comic shops and picking up all these free comics. It's always one of the best days of the year to me. It's a great day to support your local comic shops, a great day to jump into lots of various things, and even bring a friend. Get that friend into comics, right? Because it is a great time to jump into comics. Don't miss it. It's going to be a fantastic time. We'll be talking about all those books and more, as always, on our Facebook and Instagram and on our website. So don't be afraid to check us out. Make sure you're checking out all our new Major Discourse episodes, where we have interviewed people like Tyler Boss and Marc Wade, Danny Warren Johnson, and a plethora of other people. Things are just kicking off at Comic Book Clique right now. And if you guys want to make sure that we keep kicking off and all these wonderful things are taken care of, make sure you're hitting up our Patreon at CBC Clubhouse, where for less than a cup of coffee a month, you can help us pay for all the subscriptions and keep the lights on, and let us know what it is that we should also be picking up and buying and reviewing for you. So guys, thank you as always. This was a great week. Let's keep the conversation going. And as always, keep print alive and read more comics. Later.